What do you call a bunch of rabbits walking backwards? A receding hairline. Get it? Welcome to Who's the Biggest Trevor Henderson Ever in Garry's mod. Today we're going to compare the size of every single Trevor Henderson creature until we find out who's the biggest, starting with this fella, the smallest. And then we have the second smallest, Nerpo. And the third, technically, I believe, is the little worm. He's only slightly bigger, but unfortunately the worm will gradually turn into the Bridgeworm and then the highway worm. So we're going to have to do this to him. So he stays still. Up next is Fully Grown, who is slightly bigger than the worm, who's now levitating. Would you get down? Oh, I guess he's up there. You'll have to trust me. Then we have Yo-Yo, followed by one very good boy. Is he bigger? I'd say, it's hard to say. I'd say a millimeter bigger. Then we have this fool, who, he has the same sort of issue as Bridgeworm, where I think he's gonna disappear. There he goes. He's gone. That's great. We gotta be quick. Quickly petrify him. There we go. Suddenly he's grown. Rocks are bigger, I guess, but he's next. Trust me. Just stay there. Get off me. Then we have the chicken ghost, who I promise is slightly bigger. And then the new man with the upside down face, who, as you can see, is slightly taller, about an inch. I'd say he's about 6 foot. Then we have the anxious dog. Would you say maybe these two need to be switched? Much better. Followed by the Starliner Cinema, whose long head has given him about 2 inches. So far, they're pretty similar sizes, but they do get bigger pretty quick. Up next is Turn Out the Lights, the killer version, because the non-killer version is slightly taller. You see what I mean? Up next is the Mothman, who is taller, but usually he floats. But for the sake of this, we're gonna say he's this tall. Like, no, don't do this to me. Get down. Hey, you, get down. Don't make me do it. Is it working? There we go. Well, he's still up there. No. Ghost Pig. Up next is the Ghost Pig, who does have the body of a pig and also needs to be turned to stone because he's gonna run away. Excellent. He's stayed the same size. Looks good in stone. Then we have Mr. Ribbit, who uses his hands to give himself a few extra inches. He's a genius. I should do that. Then we have the real Bridgeworm, who surprisingly is, like, I'd say over 2 meters tall. You wouldn't think it to look at him. He's a big boy, but he does need to be turned to stone. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. And then we have the lamb, who's is relatively tall for a lamb. Then we have a street horse, one of a few horses who are relatively tall. Mr. Bonesworth is next. And I think maybe he seems slightly taller, right? Am I crazy? Up next is the detective, who uses his hat as an advantage. Once again, put your hands in the air and stick a hat on him. You're taller. It's genius. Up next is the whole man, who needs to be turned to stone before he murders me. There we go. Excellent. Up next is Hey Man, Stop a Minute, and get down. There we go. He's quite a tall boy, but strangely, he's not as tall as the baby, who is slightly taller, which is weird, right? And I've left this gap because Long Horse is technically taller than Hey Man because of those backbones. Then we have the cartoon cat, whose ears don't actually make him taller. We got it wrong. It's this order, which may also mean that Berry goes there too. Yep, Berry's smaller too, and he's got that one ear which makes him taller than the cat. Now, these fellas are very loud, so we're turning them to stone. Sorry, Barry. Why are you floppy stone? So up next is Costume Man, and he is followed by the Hugger. And as you can see, things are starting to get pretty tall now. Look at that line of excellent Trevors. And if you're wondering if I'm going to do the original creatures, I'm not for this video because technically they're not Trevor Henderson creatures. And this is science. Where did these guys go? I think the things I turned to stone eventually disappear, which is a shame, but it's our only option. I've made a grave mistake. We needed the rabbit between these two. You see, the antennae are bigger. And then we have Big Charlie, who I think actually the Hugger is slightly taller. Those arms are giving him... Oh, it's close. Yeah, he's got a slight advantage. Charlie, you go there. And then we have the God of Roadkill, who definitely is bigger than the Hugger. And he is followed by the Angel, who's then followed by the Country Road Creature, who uses his bounciness to make him taller than the Angel. Smart. Then we have the first of our Siren Heads, the Dark Siren Head, who is the shortest Siren Head. Then we have the Nervous House Guest, who is a really tall lad. When you look at him in this line, it makes you realize really how big they are. Then we have some Milk, and you may be wondering why Milk's in front. Well, the Nervous House Guest for some reason seems to float, and it's kind of cheaty. We gave Ribbit his hands. We'll give him his floating. He can go in front. And then we have the Country Road Creature, who stands on his legs. He's the same dude, but with better posture. Sort of? I can't believe I've done this. I forgot Peeping Tom. He goes here, right between Charlie and the hugger. And now we're on to the rest of the siren heads, which we need to put in order. So I think the ice goes next. And then the blood, who's slightly bigger. Then we have shadow, light, followed by siren. I also forgot the slide. There's too many creatures. He's about the same size as the horse. But that's pretty much it for the creatures that are not technically giants. So if you've ever wondered what they all look like in size order, here it is. I did it. It only took me a whole day. Remember to subscribe if you're enjoying this. So now it's time for the behemoths. I've spread them all out in the ocean and we need to put them in size order. And I've saved Treehead and Mr. Behemoth for last because they are bigger than the rest of the giants. But I'm not sure who is the biggest. So the smallest of the behemoths is definitely the web kraken, followed by the giant with the red dots. Or is it breaking news? Come over here, sir. Let's compare the size of you. Is he bigger? I think he is. No, don't kill him. Stop that. So it goes web kraken, breaking news, giant with red dots, day 17. And I'm not sure if Remain Indoors is bigger than the Sky Screamer. Come over here, you. I think he is, but we'll see. Get in there. Yeah, he definitely is. So then it's day 18, followed by day 2027, and then the Bird Watcher. And I'm not sure, how do we measure how tall this thing is? Like, is it the top of the cloud? Sky Tentacles? I don't be attacking. Get away. Maybe we need to get inside. Where's the tip of his tentacles? Oh, they're here. They're actually not that high. So I'd say... Wait, I've made a grave mistake. What have I done? You two, switch. Much better. And I think Sky Tentacles, we'll use the less bright one. He goes about there. So he's the fourth biggest. So here they are, in order, and it leaves only two. Treehead, who, as you can see, is a big lad. Oh, everyone's loving it. It's saying hello. And finally, the Behemoth. Is he coming up? Is he bigger? This is the grand reveal. Oh, he's trying to bite his face. I don't know. I think Treehead wins. Holy moly. Let's get him in a line. And here it is, the giant lineup. Everyone's having a great time. Did it go how you thought it would? Did you think Treehead was the biggest? I don't know. A big part of me thought it was the Behemoth. But that's pretty much it for this. Wait a second. I think I've missed one very important Behemoth. And here it is. You can see it floating in the sea. As you can see, the Treehead, when Jerry bounces, he gets slightly bigger. Jerry wins. And who am I to argue with that kind of science? So remember, it doesn't matter how big you are, as long as you're a dog. And if you've enjoyed this video, please hit that like button and subscribe if you're new. It's free. And I'm yellow.